we're going to take a look at how the light switch has been turned off. So the light switch for traditional finance, right, during this move behind me here, turned off to Bitcoin. Bitcoin did not follow this move, which means now that this move's coming down, Bitcoin has a chance to hold steady. But if it can't, it could initiate a pretty big move down. So let's identify those thresholds and why this is important, and let's go get some freaking Bitcoin, and we'll take a look at altcoins after we finish the Bitcoin portion of this stream. Let's get it. I didn't hit record. Raise your hand if you're okay with me redoing that real quick. We're gonna do it. Bitcoin had its light switch completely turned off from traditional finance during this move right behind me here. This is the US 500. Last live show on Tuesday, it was trapped below here. It looked kind of concerning. However, it maintained a 1 hour higher low structure, meaning it has permission to get back over this resistance. We were really zoomed in on that, right? It looked kind of bloody, but it maintained higher lows on the 1 hour. Therefore, it had permission to get back above. Bitcoin did not follow this move here at all, which means the light switch was turned off. So now that this move looks like it's over, this is the top of the bullish control, or the bull trap zone, which we've had on this chart for months and months and months and months. I did not retrofit this. My channel's had this line here for months. It looks like the move might be over. So what is Bitcoin going to do now that it didn't go up with this, but now it's gonna start correcting, most likely, right? And will Bitcoin be able to hold strong as this comes down, given that it did not go up with this? It has done that before, but we're going to look at the secret chart that only my channel and the community has to look at. Or has because we developed that chart. It's very simple. You can absolutely feel free to copy it unless you're a content creator. So let's go take a look at that secret chart and see if we can get some clues. Are you ready? Let's go get some Bitcoin. Here is this. So this is the US 500 chart. Not looking very good. Zooming out. I've taken off origin lines. We're just looking at a macro channel. We've had this channel for quite some time. Not YouTube channel, but a macro channel, right? And what happens after, hits the top? It makes lower lows. High, lower low. Lower high, lower low. Oh. A high lower to that one. Lower low. Lower high, or no. Yeah, lower high, lower low. Big bull trap, but lower low. Bull trap, another big one. What's going to happen next? A lower low. There's no reason it won't happen. Like, that is the trend until it's not. I know that sounds stupid. I know it sounds dumb. In the first 100 times I heard it, I didn't get it. If that describes you, the trend is the trend until it's not. If that sounds dumb, I get it, but let me show you why this is such a big deal. Very easy way to visualize this. Let's say during a Bitcoin bear market, you are a influencer who's saying, are you buying the dip? Are you buying the dip? Just like almost everyone, right? Wasn't me. Right, so from the 69K top, are you buying the dip? 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 Right? Those people. They didn't know that the trend is the trend until it's not. Weekly, daily, somewhere around there. 4-hour trends change all the time, but we're talking daily, weekly. So let's go to the, I need to go to a weekly chart. It'll be a little bit more obvious. So let me make myself small. Let me show you what this means. It's so simple. And I just thought of this last night. All right, so take a look. And I want to share this with everybody. Because my community, I already made a tutorial. I think it's video number 5 on my series within the Discord community in the Cryptillion tutorial section channel on my Discord. But I didn't say it this way, and I might go back and edit that video to say it to add this phrase. So it's a lot clearer on the weekly trend. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, right? Boom, 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 boom. So buy the dip, did I buy the dip, did I buy the dip? All right, the person saying buy the dip isn't respecting the trend. So let's say there are two people that every time there was big macro weekly price movements, they want to be right, and they're competing with each other, right? After the weekly trend is broken about here, okay, that's when the second person becomes bearish, respecting the trend. But the first, so person one, and then person two. I really wasn't going to do this for this video, but I need to. Person two, okay? So pink person is buy the dip. Did you buy the dip? Did you buy the dip? Just like the vast majority of influencers on Twitter and YouTube, right? And then, but once the trend changed on the weekly, this guy says, you know what? I think it's going to be lower low. You shouldn't be buying the dip. You should sell rallies. In a downtrend, especially the weekly, the equivalent to did you buy the dip? Did you buy the dip is the real thing you should say is, did you sell into this rally? It's equivalently the same. That is the play. But here's the point. If they are guessing each time that that's the bottom, or this person is saying that's the bottom, that's the bottom, that's the bottom, that's the bottom, how many times will this person be wrong? This person will be wrong every single time but the last, when it finally is the bottom and the trend changes. And this person will be right every single time except the last. What would you rather be? Purple person or pink person? Did you buy the dip? Do you want to be right every single time but once? Or do you want to be wrong every single time but once, then delete your tweets and your YouTube videos and say, look at me. Trend is your friend. That's what it is. If you're not allowing the trend be your friend, within that trend, you will be wrong every single time but once until the trend changes. So why not be right every single time but once? And then you realize, hey, the trend's different. And when that happens, it's not necessarily up to the moon. You often get consolidation for a while. So when the trend changes, you should expect some consolidation and some trickiness, some flat price action, right? Instead of just going straight bullish. That's the trend, be your friend. All right, so, and we know that the stock market will lead Bitcoin down for the most part, right? At this point, okay? With a high probability. Let me make myself smaller. All right, where was I? I was on, not Harmony 1. I was on, this is the Euro. I was on Bitcoin. No, I was on US 500. Here we go. So the whole idea here is, it's obvious that as of now, it's actually stupid. I just proved you. It's dumb to not think that this is going to make a lower low. I just proved it to you. I did. I literally proved it to you with basic logic, like a Vulcan, okay? Pointy ass ears, here we go. I watch a lot of Star Trek, sorry. So we know it's dumb not to at least have that mentality, because we prefer to be right every single time but once. We know that one time we'll be wrong, but you don't guess when that's going to be. You let yourself be wrong because the trend is your friend. So lower lows. The question is, when does it get initiated, right? Now we're going to zoom way in there. We're going to get intimate with this 𝐃𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸. Bitcoin did not participate in this. Oops. In this rally. Can Bitcoin hold strong while this corrects? Absolutely. Because this secret chart now, finally we're going to get to the secret chart, but I needed to show you why it made sense with that basic analogy. Or actually, facts. You will be right every time once. Let's go to... Where's my secret chart? Here we go. You can see the formula right here if you want to copy it. Unless you're a YouTube creator or a content creator. You have not seen this chart on YouTube unless it's on my channel, right? Hopefully that'll change. I would actually like for other people to use this. because it's amazing. And I have a team leader and some VIPs who are really into this chart because this shows you the light switch. All right, let me go to the 8-hour chart. So back during this 160-day consolidation back here, every trend up was when the stock market was making lower lows and Bitcoin stayed flat. Bitcoin did not go up during this time. It hit, I think, 17.2 or 17.5 in one of those big, gigantic, not the November dump, but it was like July. And then for 160 days, it went sideways. And so during that time, the stock market made lower low, lower low. I think it made 3 to 4 significant lower lows on the daily chart. Okay, daily trend kept going. Bitcoin stayed flat. So if Bitcoin goes this way, and the other chart to which it's compared goes down, that means it outperforms it, right? So 0, so you're taking the difference. It's essentially the difference. So flat is 0 minus a negative number like 10, right? It goes down 10 points, the stocks do, but Bitcoin stays flat, right? The difference is positive 10, which means up. You go up 10. Subtracting a negative number because you're taking the difference. But if the stock market makes a higher local high like it just happened and Bitcoin stayed flat, kind of like it did, that's subtracting a positive number, which means Bitcoin will go down versus, because the answer is -5. And then the chart would go down, right? Even though Bitcoin stayed flat. So most of this action is actually Bitcoin staying flat while the stock market doesn't. We making sense there? Subtracting a negative number is a positive? Okay. And that's why this is going up. All right, so the light switch got turned off, and you can see it right here. It broke the trend, and so this was what's going on. They turned off the light switch, so fell off this channel. Let's go to like the 1-minute chart. Let's watch it. Like, when did the light switch turn off? I actually haven't backtested this. I think it's going to be the exact moment that the US 500 went up. I bet it is, or it's close. I bet it's close. Okay, so let's look, and we'll actually get the exact 1 hour timing. Let's go to the 15-minute. Watch. Right there, where it retested the bottom. That is yesterday on my, so this is New York time, 15:45 hours. So just before market close, because that's just before 4 p.m. Okay, so about 15:45 on the 28th of December. Now let's go to US 500 and see when that spiked up. I should have planned this, but all right. So 15:45, but I'm pretty confident it's right. Hope it's a little bit before. Right there. A little earlier than I thought. But what is that? That's the bottom. I didn't expect that. I thought it would be here. But it's the lowest closing candle. And it's a green one, which means light switch off. So the money that moved this up already knew they were going to do it here. And probably even before. You see what do you smell what I'm stepping in? Check. All right, dude. Let me look at the comments, make sure I'm not streaming or something. Okay. Here we go, sound check. See that? Light switch was turned off right there. And that's what creates that, it helps create different movements in that secret chart we had. And you'll only hear the light switch rule on, within my community. You won't hear it anywhere else. And you won't see that chart anywhere else if you want these types of signals. So now, when will the light switch be turned on? Here's the problem though. This created a lot of playroom now. There's so much wiggle room because it created distance and it can do more things with the light switch off. So Bitcoin technically can have a slightly more playroom without breaking any rules within here, right? And when the light switch is turned back on, there's simply more wiggle room. It's going to get a little bit less predictable at this point. So trading will be more difficult if, trading is going to get a little trickier if you are subject, to if you're using these as signals. So what I've suggested to my community, because all of this space was created when the light switch was off, before the light switch is turned back on, I feel that they need to close the gap because Bitcoin's down here and the US 500's here. They need to close the gap a little bit like that. And then the light switch will be turned on. So I think if this forms a higher low to here and Bitcoin is still sideways, that's when the light switch will be turned on. Just like, I think I'm 4 for 4 now. I'm actually surprised. I'm 4 for 4 with those high impact economic data plays where I guess where whales will drive price on Bitcoin for the launch pad of volatility by direction. I've gotten it right 4 times in a row. And I didn't showboat the last one. I think it was 17.2. I said, I think it's going to land on the blue box 17.2 before PPI or PE, whatever it was. And it's exactly what happened the 4th time. And I thought I was going to get it wrong. I even said it on camera. I think this is where my track record ends, but it was right. And so, I'm not horrible at reading what the whales will do for this, for the massage part. What they do from the launch pad is a little harder, but just recalibrating and getting everything together, I don't know. 4 for 4 is not horrible. So I'm seeing something right. And so with that, this could be wrong, right? And this isn't the same type of guess, but just to build rapport here. And I have made some follow-up videos, my showboat videos on like the first 3. I showed them, but I didn't follow up on the 4th. So I think this gap needs to close first, and then something tricky will happen, right? And so when will this gap close? Around the FOMC minutes and the JOLTS job reports, which is Wednesday, January 4th, around here. So something like this, it should be recalibrated right here, because that's when bidirectional volatility will happen, is exactly on January 4th. It's going to do stupid crap. The stock market will, the price of Tesla will. Tesla can hit 150. We just saw that. That's not free content. I'm not going to show you why. But Cryptillions tier for YouTube. I'm getting ready to share that video with you, so it'll be uploaded here shortly. And then anybody within the community didn't see that. Tesla can actually have a pretty big rally here. But it doesn't have permission to go much higher than that, and it won't. It has to hit the next origin line down. But I might do a standalone video. So anyway, so that's what's at stake on Bitcoin. Now let's look at the Bitcoin chart itself, and then we'll wrap this piece up. If you want extremely precise lines, your chart, I would make boxes just like mine. I have them labeled. Thank goodness for these price labels. I actually copied off of the other KDA guy, Ryan Matta. I saw him use these. I was like, that is badass. Thank you for teaching me that. I didn't even know those existed. They're really convenient. But I don't see anybody else using these. They just say, this is $5. I can't tell. Anyway, this is really good stuff. So I have it labeled so you can draw this on your chart. It's gonna help you. It's gonna help you drastically. I mean, look, let's go down to the 10 second. That might be too small. Will it even let me go back that far? Yeah, 30-second chart. This is real. These lines are for real. 0.02% off. Based off of it. These lines are legit. Brought it up, rejection, and then tanked it right at this line. Right? These lines are they're near perfect. This is what the big money bots are looking at right now. So this will give you the right alerts. It could create a fake out, yes, but we on this channel, we are always prepared for fake outs. And sometimes we expect the fake out. But I think because things are so bearish, the fake out should be to the upside, right? I was a little scared out the other day thinking, man, I was expecting a 6% move for Bitcoin up and a 8 to 12% move up on altcoins because Bitcoin dominance was taking a correction. But since then, the charts have gotten more bearish. So the charts are telling me something else now. And Bitcoin dominance is breaking out. I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. And so now, because the chart has changed, it's all due to the light switch being turned off and space being created, creating less predictability. It's going to be a little harder to interpret stuff. But to the downside, right? To the downside, it should all remain just as easy. But to the upside, it's going to be a little harder. Because to the downside, you will invite, so the people like driving price down or big money or whoever it might be, right? The big bad days. I don't think they're going to want to fake out to the downside because the posturing of crypto and the stock market is already so bearish that if they do something that invites too many sellers to the table, right? Not just a bait to hook them and then run it the other way. But if they catch too big of a fish for the strength of their fish line, the fish will win. Your line will break, right? And that's why I don't necessarily anticipate a fake out to the downside unless it happens intraday. Or it happens at the end of a day. So it hangs out up here and then it closes like the last 1 hour. So this is when a fake out could happen. It would have to be a fast one, but this is probably how it would happen if a fake out to the downside happens before a move up. It would happen near the end of a daily candle. You'll have it perhaps even going up that day or going sideways the last 1 hour. So the candles close, I think, at 7 p.m. New York now. Anyway, it'll happen around 6 or 7. You'll see a strong move down. It'll close below one of these, bottom blue boxes, and then it'll come back up. But it'll happen exactly around 6 to 7 p.m. And it'll go right back up. But outside of that time, I think it would invite too many sellers, and that fish that if they would try to catch by baiting them and before bringing price up, the fish would be too big. And I think their risk the highly sophisticated algos risk analysis can't identify that. So that therefore I don't think there's going to be fake out to the downside unless it comes in that exact form that I just stated. Seeing that? I hope I'm being clear. So for example, on a 1 hour time frame, there are 24 of these candles in a day, right? So it would be the 23rd or 24th candle. So, how many hours left? Hell, it could happen this half hour, honestly, because there's 30 minutes left in the day. If you see it go bam, or tomorrow at the end of the day, bam, and it closes, well, it's going to go right back up. That would be a trap. But it would be a fast one that's perfectly timed, right? And that's the only way they would be able to stay away from inviting too many sellers for a fake out, okay? That is one area where we can add more predictability back to the chart. So we're trying to take back some of our chips of predictability. So to the downside, I think we have most of our chips. To the upside, we don't have a lot of chips between here and here. You are in kind of a no trade zone for a while from here to here. But your predictability to the upside comes back once Bitcoin hits a 45-degree angle to its previous bull trap, as we expected on this channel, 45 days before it ever happened. Because we knew price can only move 3 ways. After that origin line was hit on the November 9th dump, we've known this was going to happen for at least 2 months now. Because it's already happened, right? So about 2 months ago. It was one of 3 possible ways Bitcoin could move, and it actually took the most bearish route. I wasn't expecting that. But it was voiced on the channel. It will move in one of these 3 ways, and it took the 3rd path. So it's not going higher than this, folks. Before it hits under 15K, the next origin line down needs to be hit. It will be hit before this high is taken out. So any rally up will be a lower high, roughly at a 45-degree. Oftentimes it's the daily 21. So after it hits the weekly 10, which it did here, see that weekly 10, per our exact plan. About 60 days ago, from November 9th. Go to my November 9th video. And November 9th, November 10th, we started planning all this out. Like, it has to move sideways around the origin line for at least, 20 to 45 days was the whole thing, right? Okay. And then once it crept under this origin line, we knew, okay, well, it has to swipe up to the weekly 10, bare minimum. It has to. It might hit the origin line, but many times in history, it only goes to the weekly 10, and that's the bull trap. So this time, but when that happens, it sometimes hits it a second time, maybe, but really it's oftentimes the daily 21. It often creates a failure pattern above it, which my daily 21 is yellow. I don't know where it is. There it is. Okay, so a failure pattern above this yellow line. What is it? Oh, actually, it could hit the weekly 10. It's coming down. It might hit it one more time. And that would be a 45-degree angle. That would be a failure pattern above here, and it'd be one more touch of the... Yeah, honestly, it looks like what happened. And would that be a 6% move from here? Nope, not quite. A little shy. A little shy, because there's less space. Right back here, I was expecting 6%. See that? 6%. But now it's running out of space. So if there's going to be a mini rally, the altcoins... I mean, honestly, they might. I don't think they're going to go up at all, really. It's very. So check my Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Close to Better Days with number 2 afterward. I just posted something showing, like, here on the channel, we've known since late October that once BNB crosses this such and such line only found on this channel, that altcoins will begin losing 45 to 60%. Now you're going to see a lot of other I guarantee you. Go to recent YouTubers. I bet you're seeing people say 50% drop or 40% drop now. But on this channel, we're talking about this for altcoins, right? So talking about altcoin rally not happening now because there's no space for Bitcoin, right? Since it didn't happen, let's go to, so this was the magic line that we used. Where should be BNB? We knew on this channel and in the community that, so this white origin line, focused on this. I said I think it was just after this, or it was right around here. So around this date to this date, which is, oh, it might have been November. I apologize. It wasn't late October. Mid-November. Yep. Around this time on the community, we said that if it goes under here and gets trapped, that is the initiation of a 45 to 60% move down. It won't happen all at once, but that will initiate it. Period. There are no other options. And look what's happened. It fell straight from my origin line. Went where? Crawling up the next one. These lines are real, folks, and you will not find them anywhere else. Feel free to make them yourself, unless you're a content creator. Then you got to find your own stuff to brand yourself. But my viewers, do this. It's going to help you. Copy my stuff, please. I'm labeling it for you. And the people who don't believe it works, you're the one who should do it the most. Because once you do it, you're going to see it's real. It's for real what smart money is looking at, or it helps us visualize what smart money is doing. Smart money is not looking at the same exact thing, but I don't know what it is. It's some calculation of fibs or so. I don't know how they work. I really don't, but it does. That's all that matters, is that it does work. All right. So the initiation has already begun. And if you look at things like look at Algorand. That's a great example, because that is one, they had angel investors. I think they recently got funding for 200-something million, right? Well, guess what's happening now? They're all letting it go. It is just crashing and burning, which is actually good, because if you like Algorand, you want to buy it cheaper. You want it to go down. If you're somebody who's holding that's your fault for not listening. I've been telling you since, I don't know, over a year ago, tether, stable. Yeah, this is going to crash and burn. Crashing and burning. Big money is exiting alts. It's not going to come back. You could get one mini rally, but that's it. I don't even think it's going to happen. And if you look at Solana, straight down, the layer ones, big layer twos that big money was interested in, they're obviously letting it loose. Done. And we knew that this was going to happen back in mid-November, before it happened. Right? Because here was November 20th. We already knew it back then, before it fell off this cliff. BNB crossed, then this crossed. Because BNB is kind of like, I don't know, because Ethereum is doing its own thing. So I was thinking, well, what's going to lead altcoins is BNB. All right, now let's put this all together. I don't know if there's a chart of truth right now. It might be Bitcoin itself, because that light switch is not on and it's not recalibrated, as we talked about. So really, all we're dealing with is this bottom line here, which you need these boxes the same as mine. Try to make it look similar to this. Okay, I think this is out of play. I'm going to delete it. I don't think it's going to happen. I have this line starting from that wick over here, if you want to draw this exactly. So this wick from December 13th and average slope here. Ooh, no, it's going to hit 17. Okay, now, why? Okay, now, last one. Here's the magic sauce. And there's a high probability I will be able to make a showboat video off what I'm about to show you, because it might be exactly what happens. Does it have a 50% chance of happening exactly as I'm getting ready to show you? No, probably not. But it's strong double digits. It might be 1 in 5, so 20% chance of exactly what I'm about ready to show you is exactly what would happen. Okay, about a 1 in 5 chance, which I'll take that chance, because there, if I'm picking one exact thing out of myriad possibilities, that's not bad. Why 17.2? Well, we already know from this chart, it might want to grab some liquidity up before driving it down. Once that light switch turns back on, right? So US 500 makes that higher low on its, higher low on its way to make a lower high. Bitcoin will go here when the light switches turn back on. But what else is at 17.2? Raise your hands. What? I'll give you a hint. Large candles, large time frames. What's at 17.2? Go look. This is Dora, the Explorer channel. Posas Verdes Dora, or Diego, whatever, interactive. I'm asking, where is the backpack? Mochila. Why 17.2? Month. Let's go to the month. Let's go to a cleaner Bitcoin chart first. And let's get this dumbass small. Now I'm small. Right. And what I'm about to show you is actually kind of common. There are probably a lot of other people looking at this. But this candle is going to close when? If you don't know how to find that answer, you're not prepared for next bull run. 2 days and 1 hour. The next candle starts in 2 days and 1 hour. Let's look at the last 20 red candles. Okay, perfect. Last 20 candles. The wick up was 5%. Where did it go to? This candle body. Okay. Here we go. This red candle. Did it have a wick up? It absolutely did. What percentage? About 3. Where did it test? Up into this wick right here. Because this candle body is up too high. Right? But it still went up before it went down. This one right here. What did it go test? Got close to that candle body. Went up before it went down. A whole 10%. 10% before it went down. This is probably what's getting ready to happen. Red candle. It went up before it went down. What did it retest perfectly? Almost perfectly. Candle body. But if this candle were bigger, then it probably would have only tested halfway up. Right? That's kind of the rule. Like if the previous candle were a big one, the candle body were big, it only goes halfway up. But if it's small like this, it usually tests the candle body before it goes down. It's that simple. But what's big money doing? Well, they already know it closed, it closes bearish, or what, it's closing bearish. But they want to trap people to, think it's bullish, and then they drive it down. And you can see it on the monthly chart. Like, the play is almost always at the beginning of the month. And it lasts often between 4 to about 12 days. And then shit accelerates. And during that time, around the end of the month to the next beginning of the month, if you track this with a volatility indicator, you'll see that it's more likely low volatility on a time frame like the 8-hour, 2-day, or whatever is going to be lowest near the end and beginning of the months, because it's going to start heating up in the middle of the month when it finally, goes down, right, on red candles. And this one, it's still backfilled, but whatever. That's actually a recovery going into the bull market. So we're going into the bull market, but look, they all have wicks. Okay, went halfway up, so it had nowhere to go, but it couldn't reach here. So what did it do? It went halfway up the wick. Just common play, halfway up something. Top had a. So what did this do? It went above the candle body and about. This one didn't really follow any rule. There must have been something here. It didn't. From a percentage basis, though, it's probably 4%. 3.5. Here we go. This one. So this had a big candle body before. It actually, honestly, I probably would have thought it would have tested up higher. I'm surprised it didn't do that. But we already know this wasn't real price action. Price was created by an algorithm only on a group of coordinated attackers on Bitcoin while the stock market made all-time high. So this one, but it still had a wick. Look how big it was. No innuendos, puns intended. 10%. Just look at all these. Are we getting the hang of this yet? Oh, here's one that didn't. This one did not. 1 out of 20. That's a 5% chance that it won't happen. 5%. Right? Okay, now the next candle starts in 2 days and 1 hour. If this candle starts and it's going to be red, and this is a small candle, what are the two targets for the backfill wick? It's going to be or halfway up to maybe hit close to there. It could be 18.1. So January could hit one of those. It actually is probable. Like, I promise YouTube I wouldn't say 90% or more. But let's go from this sample. So this is true. From the sample size of this 20, right? Which is a fairly small sample size, but I think it's statistically significant. There was a 1 in 20 chance, or a 5% chance that it won't happen, which technically means there's a 95% chance that it'll happen, based off the information. We could make the sample size a little bit bigger, but what happens when you do that on Bitcoin? Returning viewers of this channel, so make sure you hit like if you haven't already. And if you're new, this is the moment to hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell and all alerts. So you got multiple clicks, the bell, and then all alerts afterward, because I'm going to keep you in the know. So this is saying that there's only a 5% chance of this not happening. Pretty good chances. But you need to be damn sure you're prepared for it not to happen, because we just saw it not happen once. Okay? So 17.2 and 18.1 are rally targets for next month. Does it have to happen? No. But I just showed you the statistics behind it within a... Oh, no, I got off track. I apologize. If you go too far back, what's going to happen? Bitcoin was traded by retail only. And then Bitcoin whales, who were OGs from, 2009, 2010 through 2012, roughly. So the big plays were just those whales. And then some YouTubers, but mostly whales, who mined it early and had tens and tens of thousands of Bitcoin. But now, since they don't have the power anymore, and miners and whales, the Bitcoin OG whales and miners don't have the power. It's all traditional finance. They are the ones trading and making Bitcoin move, right? But when did they enter? When did that happen? It was around 2019, early 2020. So if you go back too far and collect samples from, the prehistoric era, the fossil record's different. Could you average it all in? Sure, but I think that a slightly smaller sample size on this will be more representative. It'll give a truer, statistical measurement, because Bitcoin was not dominated, and it wasn't moved at the whim of traditional finance within at least a 4 to 10% range. Within a 4 to 10% range, big money is moving Bitcoin exactly where they want it, exactly into their longs, exactly into their shorts, but they can't do it over a large scale, although they did do it on Wyckoff back in March through July of 2021. But that's not ever going to happen again, because the big players, as we've said, saw how much money those players made, and they're all going to fight for that sort of thing. So now, as they're all fighting, it becomes mass market psychology, and they only have control at their whim, within a certain percentage, right? Within a range. But regardless, this is still statistically likely, okay? Because we just went back to when, and so those 20 candles took us back to when traditional finance started taking over Bitcoin price action from retail and miners. So be prepared for this. Now, what will that look like on the small chart? And if the backfill often lasts 4 to 12 days, that's the 3rd. That's the 8th. It's pushed below. Hangs on. It might actually go like this. And then FOMC minutes here. Creates the launch pad once again. I'm not making that guess yet. It's too early for that guess. It's too far out. But if I had to guess now, I think it's 16-4 for the launch pad of the FOMC minutes on. No. I'm so sorry. That's January 4th. What's late January? There's something going on in late January, the 20th. That's when Dixie should go up, actually break out. It might be the Dixie chart, but yeah, it's the Dixie. Dixie's signaling January 20th through February 1st for the move down on Bitcoin, which is a move up on its chart. So even if, so the backfill, blah, 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 now the candle turns red, then it hangs out until Dixie spikes, and then kablam. Right? And that means coming up to here, it looks like this will be hit exactly. And I will for my showboat video, if that happens, again, if I had to guess, 1 in 5 chance, I will snip out the beginning where I said I could probably showboat, and then exactly on the 4th, because the launch pad, I have 4 for 4 on it. It kind of looks like the launch pad for the 4th will be here. And so if there's bidirectional volatility related to FOMC, about 5% in each direction from a zero line. So it's 10% total, but not monodirectionally. So if you have like a number line, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, +5. Here to here is 10% range. But it goes vertically like this, 5% that way, 5% that way. So if this is the launch pad, and it's only the minutes, so it's probably going to be more like 4% each way, I would say. Yeah, because CPI usually is 4% each way, and this is going to be JOLTS, jobs reports, plus, is it unemployment? There are a couple small ones in there, but JOLTS is the big one, and then FOMC, so at 9 a.m. on January 4th, and at 2 p.m. New York, on January 4th, it's going to be FOMC minutes. It's probably going to be 4%. So Bitcoin will be right here. You'll see it like this. It'll flatten out on this line almost exactly. And hopefully this is about 4%. Let's see here. It's only 3.25. So that backfill might happen at the, so here's what's going on. So when whales move price, they have to establish their limitations of what we can do. Whales can't say, we want Bitcoin to go to 1 million. They can't do it. It's out of their range of possibilities. They can't move price within that big of a range, right? But this range, they can. And so if we know that price has already fallen off the cliff on the monthly scale, we've already verified this, right? And then we had another closure this month, even lower, with another red candle. It's too bearish to do much of anything else besides go up to the previous month's candle body, or maybe halfway up the wick, which is 18. There are limitations, right? But the more probable one is 17.2, and the event that will allow it to happen is going to be the January 4th. And they will have the limitation because of that monthly candle body. I'm telling you, it will be the target. It has a strong possibility of being the target, and that's it. That is Bitcoin. And if you learned something today and you like what you saw and you're new, there are links to the Discord community and the in the video description of what the YouTube tiers offer, so you can decide for yourself what's best for you. And if you decide, hey, it's a bear market, I'm going to save my money, it's probably not a bad idea. You would still want to go to the Discord as a free member, because I'm going to start as a free member. You're not going to get a bunch of dings like you might on another Discord as a free member. I just tested it on others. I hated it. Like, oh, my phone's making noise. You can expect something like once or twice a week, but it's going to be valuable stuff for you. Sometimes it's a dump alert, because I feel bad not giving that to people. Like, if I think something crazy is getting ready to happen and I can smell it, I think I just need to let everybody know. I can't not do that. Now, how to play it and all the warnings before there, free members won't get. But that is one thing I do. I've shared things like a very simple Excel file, trading journal, things to that effect, and just general alerts. And I might start having a free member, I guess, video sessions once a month or something. But you might want to sign up, or not sign up. You might want to, bare minimum, if you're saving money in bear market, totally understand. I never joined a community until my viewers forced me to make one and then forced me to raise the prices a lot. But that's how I became a YouTuber on accident, really. My viewers made me do it. And then it made me quit my job. But anyway, the free membership, it will be valuable, and I won't annoy you with a ton of alerts. So we will see you on the flip side. Streaming folks, stay on. I'm going to end the Bitcoin video. You just got simplified worldwide. All right. Now I bet everybody wants me to look in here. Okay. Hey, LaPoison, how you doing? Hey, so LaPoison says, a few months ago, you posted a video related to Veracity, and you plotted all your origin lines. Any idea when that was? I'd like to put them in since they are legit as F. Get ready to snapshot your screen. I got a question on Veracity, and just for visuals here before I address the question, I want, if you're landing on this channel as a new Veracity fan, you've never been on my channel before, just realize that I drew all of these boxes, all of them, after that flash crash right there. The Veracity fans at the time looked at this and said, we have proof of views on the Vera views, and I'm like, that's never going to happen. I was like, yeah, it will. Everything's going to lose 95% of its value besides Ethereum and Bitcoin. Maybe Cardano. Maybe Cardano. Because Cardano's due for like a 94% correction. Because last time, 98.77, that's, whew. I don't think, yeah. I don't think Cardano will. I think Cardano will go down as much as Ethereum did last time, which is 94%. Anyway, everything will do this. Okay? So I was looking out for Veracity people before the other people you might follow on that. Well, right? And I'm sorry if I wasn't able to convince you that this was real, if you're a longtime viewer, but I would say about half the people in my community are the folks who thought I was an idiot. And once they realized that, fuck, that's right, then they joined. And when I said that on the Discord last night, I even said, that's why I'm here. I thought you were an idiot. I was like, yes, most people did. That's exactly right. Okay, so Veracity addressed the question. Right here. So let's get rid of those targets. So these lines right here, let me make these, like these are the more major lines. Right, that's the only reason why they're bolder. Let me make myself small. Actually, just disappear. I'm on the daily chart. You will need to be as well. Yeah, you probably need the daily chart. And if you ever want to create more origin lines, once you get these in, you just, this is the time to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and hit like if you're not new. For Veracity folks watching this on recording, you just, here, click off. All right, so I click this one, I hold control, I click this one. Now I'm only holding control. My right hand is free on my mouse. And then I drag it. Oop, that did not work. I have it locked. I have to unlock this bad boy. So if it breaks below there, you just click here, hold control, click here, let go of everything besides the control button, and then click on one of them and hold down, drag, and that's it. Like that, just eyeball it. You can adjust the next two lines later after something like this happens. And you'll find that it'll be almost exactly equidistant. So typically before this happens, I already know exactly where it'll go. Why? Equidistance. I don't know why it works. It just does. And this is when I said, the rally will not sustain. It might have been this one. I said, no, it has to touch the next origin line down. It cannot go up past that line or a failure pattern above it. Actually, had permission to go a little higher. It had permission to do that. Nothing more. It wasn't going to happen. Never was. Okay, so those are the origin lines. Zoom out one more time. Snapshot. Veracity. Right there. And if you want to start getting a little bit better at guessing the bottoms, all you need is something, a guess. You only need to guess one thing. You don't need to guess price. You need to guess time. You need to guess the time axis. So if you're guessing, I have that on February or January 4th, FOMC. Okay. But if you only need to make one guess. If you think bottom might be late February, which is what I've been guessing for a while. And again, it's not a technical guess. It's just me being cute because I want to make a guess. It's not a real guess, but it is a guess. I've been saying it for a while. Like, I'm just picking February. Screw it. That's my pick. Picking straws, right? Anyway, so you make a guess on the time frame. Then nothing else is a guess. Nothing. Because you take the average slope. And then you can do this on any coin. It doesn't have to be Veracity. Take the average slope of the bear market. And then none of this is guessing. None of it. None of it is guessing. The only guess is this, because everything else fits. Does that make sense? You only have to guess time. All right? And that's how I use the origin lines to essentially guess bottoms. To make an educated guess. Now, how did I have those other boxes there so early? If you're kind of scratching your head how I knew. Well, okay, so this is something, if you are class of 2021, if you're still around next beginning of bear market, and when it seems like it's over, maybe November 2025, something like that, you're going to tell your friends and they're not going to listen. But what you're going to tell them is, bro, it's going to go down 85, 89%. No matter what, especially if it's that coin's first bull run. Because most of the coins from this bull run, 85% will not go to all-time highs again. Or more. So this is a statistic. It has a 15% chance of ever getting back up here. Real. Okay? Even Cardano is in that mix. It's only a question of which coins are a better candidate to be among that 20% or 15% that will break all-time highs. Right? But regardless of that, everything, all altcoins, if it's their first bull run, they're going to go down 95, 99%. If it's its second bull run, it's usually somewhere closer to like 94 to 97, somewhere around there. Second bear market. First bear market, reason why is because in the first bull run, shit goes up too much because YouTubers talk about it and there are promises made and then it all collapses. And then buyers just don't want to come back. Like, you're on to the, and why don't buyers come back? Because there are a whole bunch of new altcoins the next time that YouTubers talk about, and they're not talking about this. They're not talking about Neo from 2017. Neo was like the love child of YouTube. You don't even know what Neo is. That's all you can hear, like, see YouTubers talk about in 2017 when it skyrocketed to like $250 from 3 or 1. Right? You don't even know what it is. Right? So why would anybody next bull run know what this is? This wasn't the love child of YouTube. It's possible, but it's simply unlikely, right? So for all the people, trying to say, oh, this is going to like $1 and stuff, it only has about a 15% chance of ever getting to here again, at 9 cents. So how about, you prove that we're among the 15% strongest cryptos next bull run, and then maybe talk about $1. Maybe. But not before then. Not until you take out your all-time high. Right? Did I even answer the damn question? Oh, yeah, you wanted to see the origin lines. And that's Veracity. Not helpful if you don't listen. Okay, Papa Long Balls. Where would I short BNB? I can't answer those types of questions on YouTube Live. But I will show you my chart so you can make your educated guess. So I don't want some person who doesn't set stops to come back at me and try to, like, you did this, you told me financial advice. Well, I'm not saying, I'm showing you my chart. I'm going to show you some key levels that are important to me. And you can do with it whatever you want. And it's your choice. Oh, wait, there's one more key here. I would watch out for that. That could happen. Okay. You get. I'm not going to talk about trade setups. We did go over this though, and I was just telling my community, I think I'm gonna try this one. I missed it the last time because it didn't reject, so I missed the short. It did reject on the very, very small time frames, but I didn't get to see it. I think it was like on the 5 minute one. Boom. So I missed it, but I'll get a second chance around that area. And again, that's not financial advice. I simply showed you my chart and my areas of interest. It is up to you to stay safe and to stay safe. Silly without saying that. All right, I see a non-community member, 𝐃𝐬𝐬𝐜𝐸, asking about Kadena. Even though you're not a community member, I'll answer your question because people are going to ask about it anyway. So I will do a quick. Let's look at Kadena real fast, jumping off of BNB. Now that BNB has fallen off the cliff, it's going to lead altcoins down, as we already confirmed. We already knew this was going to happen in mid-November before it dropped below this line. So let's go look at Kadena after that, since it's on this stream. It's always asked for. So has anything even changed? Nope, it's still in the triangle, just like like we were thinking. Not a whole lot to do on this quite yet. This is from my last analysis. I honestly just am having a hard time not winning on this coin. On my analysis. There you go. And I have this line here on when it should break down. When is it? January 4th. And it'll probably spike up first. Just warning. It'll probably spike above. So if you want some targets for the bidirectional volatility, that's as high as I will see it going. Let me measure. As if it's over 18%, that's not going to happen. Yes, it is. But it might not happen at all. This is not being traded by big money. And people are not excited about buying it. So what might happen is it's just defended and then drops. It might not get that pop. Because traditional finance algos are not connected to this at all. Traditional finance algos are connected to, to Solana right now. To Algorand, they're just selling it. Maybe Cosmos. Matic. But not this. So this, honestly, I would be surprised if that were hit. Well, I would be slightly surprised because it's on my chart. Like I can't, if it hits it, I won't be that surprised, right? Because it's on there right now. But I think let me think about what I'm trying to say. I think that would be the limitations to its upside move. That's a better way to put it. I would be scratching my head if it wicked much higher than that, or if it got above here and started using this as support. Okay, but January 4th, it should hit somewhere close to there. And that's why this line's here. It's January 4th, FOMC minutes. Right? But remember, this could break out for a fake out. Why? We just talked about it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin needs, or has an extremely high chance, 89.99 or higher, of going to 17.2 next month. Has a small chance of going up to 18.1. So that means this would fake out, come down here, then bust out, and then head down. About 12 days to January. So that's how long the backfills last. And we just identified during, so if you haven't watched my Bitcoin video from the same day that this is tagged, you need to watch it. It's huge. Without Bitcoin analysis, you will not do well with this. And I showed you why 17.2 is the main target next month, early next month. All right. Meth. John, I think you're trying to say F, but you keep hitting, no, M is not close to E. Why are you, is meth a ticker? I don't understand what's going on. I think I've seen your comments. You might be misspelling something. Or you might be claiming that I take meth. I don't know what you're doing, man. I don't know. Explain yourself. Why are we talking about, why are you typing meth? That's so weird. What are you doing, dude? All right, Polygon Matic looks like it will get a slight bit low high. Have a strong feeling it bottomed out at a quarter. Lots of limit orders. Take a look at the order book. Yeah, we talked about Matic last night. It has a probability of being bottomed, I think. And my community corrected me. I said, oh my gosh, it looks like it might have bottomed. And they said, you already said that. I was like, what? I did? I think it was Matic. Let's see. Yeah, it is Matic. It looks like it's bottomed. And it has a better chance of having bottomed even more so than Litecoin. So what was the question? Okay. Let's zoom in. One of my team leaders taught me this, so I don't have to adjust them. All right. Okay, now we're going to take a look at Polygon Matic, and we are in our community. We are thinking that this actually has a better chance of having bottomed more than Litecoin does, because its rally was almost 5x or something crazy. Yeah, it was 4x. 300% is 4x because 100% is double, right? It looks like it might double bottom, but yeah, it looks like it's bottomed. To me, or it's among the best candidates in all of crypto having bottomed. Among the best. Litecoin is kind of in the middle tier of good candidates, but this might be the best candidate. Chronos Tech or Time Chronos Tech. That actually has an even bigger probability of having bottomed on there. Okay. Well, I mean, very simply, use this projector tool. You know, eyeball a 45-degree angle, connect it to support, boom. Now, zoom in. Yeah, that's a little steeper than 45. Something like that. Now, zoom in and look left so you can connect a horizontal to this and kind of get an idea of what would suck price up. This is, I actually can't tell what it's going to do. There are multiple options, and you don't really need to guess, but let me show you why here in a second. But if I had to make a guess now, I would choose no guess. I can't tell if it wants to come here or if it wants to break down, because the reason why, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times on that line. I don't like that. But next month's backfill to 17.2, it could lead it up into here. So this would happen around January 4th to the 12th. I think this one right here. I was looking for the best wick. It might be that one. Look left. Because it aligns with this one too. It aligns with all this. And it would be perfectly situated to take out all the stops and liquidations hiding above these local highs. Swipe up and then take them. Or no, take them all out and then and attract buyers and longers and then take all them out. So take out all the shorters, attract buyers, then take them all out. It's honestly a perfect setup. And because I know that smart money is trading this, it kind of makes the guess easier. Let me zoom in to get this more precise for you. I didn't draw that. And again, for any new viewers, like this is one of the most valuable tools. Ooh, that's January 16th. I don't know if that's gonna. All right. Well, I'll mark these lines. I can't tell how it's gonna move. I just know the areas of interest. So, to the upside and downside. So here's how I would do this. I need to first identify that I don't have an edge on a guess right now. I swear to you, that is among the most valuable lessons and just ideas to accept and to have an aha moment on. Identify when you don't have a trade or you don't have an edge. That means if you're trading, you're gambling. Time, you will lose money. Because the odds are worse than a casino if you don't have an edge. Okay, that's upside. To the downside, very simple. I don't think I would try to trade a breakdown of this unless the US 500 went below our major blue box, which it's way above it. So if US 500 pulls down crypto, this is going to come here, maybe as low as there, but it's going to retest that line. So I personally would wait for the juiciness here. Retest of this line. So I don't care if it goes down. I know that unless US 500 from our analysis on there goes, if it doesn't go below the blue box, it's gonna form lower highs and lower highs, or lower lows, highs. And the lower high move up, if during its on its higher low on the US 500 before a lower high, on its higher low, on its rally up to do a lower high, it would go and then rally up to lower high, come. So downside, that's what it would look like. upside. I wouldn't try longing up to there. Rather, I personally would look for 2 areas to short. I don't think I would try to trade up to that. I think that's stupid right now. And I'm telling my whole community. Day after, here, I'll just show you. You can see what I'm saying. And this is not the first time I've said it on the daily updates. Before I gave them, oh, it's got the wrong thumbnail. It should say daily update. Here I uploaded it on my other computer, so I didn't have it. So I just this thumbnail. All right, here we go. And let's go back to Matic now. So on Matic, even this chart is agreeing with what I already reminded my community for like the 3rd time. It's probably not wise to do any long positions unless you trade the 5-minute chart or lower. That's what this says too. And this is an altcoin leader. It says don't try that. Either play, you're looking for shorts. Not financial advice. That's what this chart is saying to me. Whether or not it says that to you, that's up to you. That's what we got. Oh, and if you want this, so this is a let's see here. What is this? This is July. This isn't a macro channel, but this is a week. This is a mid macro channel, midterm time frame channel. I mean, this is hundreds of days old. It looks like 165 days. So it'll be a big move. And once it gets below here, it's going to go straight to here. It won't stop there. Could it get a small bounce? Sure, it absolutely could. But I wouldn't trade up on that. Would I try to counter trend trade on this? Sure, if I see it happening, yeah. Would I try to counter trend trade that with selling my house and going all in? Hell no, I wouldn't. I would just do it to stay in the game and maybe trade trade a counter trend trade. And I would treat it as a counter trend trade. So which means you don't hit it hard. And that would be once it falls off, if it falls off in mid-January. There you go. There. Once it falls, that's where it's going. But it might not fall first. It might go up first. And whew, with a small hesitation right there. There you go. That is Polygon Matic. Algorand is prime for 10. Yeah, I just talked about 10 cents today. You're right. Yep, 10 cents is kind of my target. I think it was exactly 9.9, but yeah. I agree. Harrison, you were probably on that call, right? H-bar. Okay, so I skipped some community members' questions here. Sorry. Have you done SOL yet? No, I haven't, DCF. First half of 2023 target, 345. So around June, can I see it at $3.45? Is that out of play? I got a Solana question, and before it's about bottom targets for about June 2023. Before we get going, I mean, if you are landing on my channel as a new viewer for this recorded portion, I just want you to know, I mean, back here, I was, and I have it recorded, showboat video, everything. I let everybody know it doesn't matter how high this goes. It could go up to about 150 is what I said. It actually went up to 146, right? You can go to my channel and search Solana Perfect. It's about a 90-second video. I was the only person out there telling you it's going to go to 12 to 22 bucks, no matter what, at that point. Even if it goes up to 150, it's going to hit 12 to 22 bucks. Don't bet against probabilities. And I begged people. No one else told you that. You're there. Know it. So now, if you're a doubter of, ooh, your targets are too low, well, you are already by default way behind the game. So there's no permission to even those types of comments because it's looking stupid. Right? I've kind of essentially my rapport on analyzing this coin is locked in time until I screw it up. But guessing a bottom target is not going to screw it up. All right. Can I see $3.45 in around middle of 2023? Yeah, it can wick below there. Sure. I think this triangle might be a better bet. Remember, returning viewers and FYI, any new viewers, I draw a black triangle. This is a really small one too, so this has a good chance of not exactly. But when I draw a black triangle, my viewers know that there's a damn good chance that it gets hit. Yep, it can easily hit that. So wick below it, but I would try this 364 size. And then somewhere. Zoom out on the daily. Let me clean this up. Hold on. If you're a Solana fan, you should time to replicate this extraordinarily valuable information you're seeing on your screen right now. If you pass up your opportunity to do that, well, I guess this is recorded, so you can come back and do it. But be pretty silly. Like trading Solana, or you want to accumulate it, or whatever. You think it's a play. Read these lines. You would honestly be foolish not to. Or at least attempt. Just try. Keep them parallel and equidistant is all you have to do. Copying and dragging. Okay? And you can click multiple as you hold control. Once you get a couple done, you just go like that. It's really fast. It's not hard. These lines on your chart. I'm on the daily time frame. And if you do actively click around with your money like Solana, you don't know what origin lines are, I hope that you can see how badass this is and how valuable this can be for you. To put this into effect, it is not day trading. These are more swing plays. So origin lines help you with more like 1 to 4 trades a month type of frequency. So it's not for day trading. They're too far apart. However, when price is interacting with it, it helps you understand that the probability of one of the bigger moves happening is now. So you know when to start taking profit in a different manner. More walking stops up and letting it ride, milking the gains, right? That is how I use these lines. So if you're trading between these lines, right, which happens a lot, when there's no interaction with the origin line, I'm in and out, in and out. And you can see why. Should be, right? Yeah, it should be. In and out, in and out, in and out. But once it starts interacting with these lines, you know, a little bit more, or, you know, I guess it interacted with the entire freaking time here, so that would be a little bit confusing. But you would also know that, hey, the probability over here, let's zoom in, of this being, you know, just coming back down is really high. Or failure pattern, it's extremely strong chance after this failure pattern connecting the previous local highs. I mean, so simple to short that. Look how simple that was. If you have origin lines, you know that when it goes below, it likes to do one last failure pattern before it goes down to the next one. So where would the failure pattern go is the next step. At the line everybody's looking at. So simple. So simple. I don't think I caught that one though. I don't remember seeing this. I don't know if I covered that, but had I probably would have put a try. Because of this trend. And that's how you use those guys. Solana, yeah, could easily hit under $4. Harrison's community members asking about thoughts on Mina protocol and happy price targets. Mina in Chile, South American country with about 25 million population. Mina is like American English chick. Look at those chicks over there. I think that's how that. Because I lived in Chile for about 7.5 months, circa 2007, on the beach in Viña del Mar. It was amazing. All right, what's your question about it, Mina? All right, as we're doing this, since I'm not recording this portion, since it's kind of a more obscure altcoin, as I'm looking at this, I want to ask if I have any like either tier members or just viewers who are really good at physics, like you were a physics major or something, or I don't know, doctorate, or maybe you're a teacher of physics. As I'm looking at this, I want to ask if any. I just had this random. I don't know how I thought of this, but it was dealing with entropy and the first through, particularly the second law of thermodynamics. And again, this is weird, but whatever. As I'm looking at this chart, I want to ask this question: at what point does the law, particularly the second law of thermodynamics, change, particular to the expansion of the universe? Is it when the expansion of the universe slows down below light speed? Because the only thing in the universe faster than the speed of light is the expansion of the universe, right? It's a trick question. There is one thing faster than light, the expansion of the universe, right? Which is what creates an observable and unobservable universe. And then the second law has to do with, essentially, second law stated in English for anybody who wants to see how good I am at expressing other like complex thoughts very, very simple. Let's see, how did I do? Oh, it's osmosis. Osmosis of energy in an expanding universe. So the second law of thermodynamics is just, it's based off the expansion of the universe, and energy is flowing. It's diffusing evenly on average, and as it spreads out more and more, you can't use that energy too far. Like if the energy is too far apart, it's unusable to create work. After time, you get a cold death. So the second law of thermodynamics actually guarantees a cold death universe. Like that is how the universe will end. But when does the second law change? If the universe actually stops expanding so fast, when does the second law change? Is it exactly at light speed? I don't know. There's got to be a threshold when it changes. I think it should be light speed, but I don't know. I wasn't a physics person. All right. Anyway, I just had that thought, and I don't know the answer, and I don't know how to look up the answer. All right. Okay. Mina. So anyway, if anybody knows, I really want to know. You can leave me a comment on Twitter or something. Just respond to something. Yeah, it's hanging out in this point of control. It could ride down here, and the next time it falls out is the capitulation of crypto. So the next time it leaves this, it might be that is where it's going to bottom. It's the bottom move. It's probably what's going to happen. This bottom target the bottom line looks kind of aggressive. It might hit that on a wick. I would say maybe on a wick, but I would target this line here. That's where I would go. But if I had to DCA, I would DCA, and over time, as like, let's say we're expecting capitulation here. Well, I would have tried DCAing here and here. But if no capitulation, then I'll cancel those orders and I'll move them over like this. And now my next DCA targets are there. Or this. So they were here. Now no capitulation, hasn't left yet. So let's move it over like that. That's probably how I would do it. I would keep my DCAs there. So for one day, I wake up and they're filled. Or 2 of 3 are filled. Right? But if you don't move them, as price continues not to capitulate, let's say you're expecting capitulation back here. Shoot. I mean, you're buying way too early, right? You got to keep moving them down. So that's Mina. I think I answered your question. Yeah, Mina. Yeah, so Mina's just hanging out in the point of control. It's going to stay there. And when it leaves, it should be when Bitcoin is falling below or 16K. But Bitcoin will go below 15K. And that's when this will go below. Control. Happy. Oh yeah, and I also realized that all the resources like out there make describing entropy so difficult. It's just a gas tank. How do you do it? Full, empty. The universe started off with a bunch of usable energy, and all it means is it can only go down. That's all entropy is. When entropy increases, it means emptiness increases. Entropy means more emptiness, less usable energy. It's a measure of emptiness of the gas tank of the universe. That's all it is, of usable energy. It's literally a gas tank. Right, anyway. But I was dealing with, I don't know. In my efforts to try to find the answer to that, I realized, man, like no wonder people don't know what entropy is. Like it's so confused. It's a measure of empty, it's a measure of unusable energy. It's a gas tank. All right. And the second law of thermodynamics says it can only go emptier. It can never get fuller, ever. Again, unless the universe starts contracting, or slows down and stops. All right. Now, damn, this is impressive. I think this is bottomed. This is done. Yeah, your next macro high or low on this one's going to be a great buy. Not financial advice. That's what the chart is telling me. You do not have to agree. But my target, the lowest I could see it going, even with a capitulation event. Okay, I'm done boring you all with physics, sorry. I really need to know the answer to that for some reason. How big of it? Hopefully this is about 45 to 50% down. Yeah. There you go. And it might not even hit that. But during a capitulation event, that's probably where it's going. I think it's done. I think it's bottom. Let me say it. I think it's bottomed because it looks like there's a probable chance that it's bottomed. Does that make sense? So whenever you hear me loosely say, I think this is going to happen, what I really mean is these are the reasons why I think it's probable to happen. It doesn't have to. Right? Because it's probable that if you roll a dice or just one die, it's probable you'll roll anywhere between 1 and 4. Every time you roll, it's always probable. No matter what, because it's more than half the numbers. But you roll a 5 and a 6 a lot. You'll be wrong a lot, even though it's probable, right? So anyway, but this would be kind of similar. It's possible it comes up shy and hits something like this instead. Maybe. That's a maybe. That's rolling a 5, and rolling a 6 would be like it only goes to here. something like that. So it doesn't have to hit those, right? I think it's a 1 through 4. Yeah, that's a great chart. I don't know what this is, but this is strong. People are interested in it. There's something going on here. Whatever this project's doing, it's real. And this doesn't look like retail. I mean, well, I take that back. It kind of does look like retail. It's pretty chaotic. But I don't know if retail can move a coin like this for that long. So this means that the founders are not dumping, unlike all other coins, because they need to free up money. They need to make their money more liquid so they can pay their workers, pay their lights, pay for paper clips, literally. I mean, literally, pay for paper. Where are they going to get the money since no crypto almost... So Ethereum, Tron, EOS are profitable companies. They make enough revenue to cover the cost, to my understanding. Tone, or TE Food, previously TE, that's a micro cap, so almost no one knows. Yeah, not even Algorand. Like they don't create enough revenue to cover all their overhead. And that's why crypto will go down even more. That's what Cardano founders had to do. That's why it went down 98.77%, because they had to what Elon Musk is doing right now. His wealth is not liquid. To make it liquid, he has to sell. Now it's liquid. Liquid just means I can do with it what I want. I can buy an Apple. I can buy a Tesla. I can buy a nose hair trimmer. But if it's in stock, I have to sell it first. Now it's liquid. Now I can move it. It turns from ice, which I can't pay for it with things with ice. But if I come up to the counter with a glass of water, there we go. It's liquid, right? Horrible analogy, but just so you can understand, liquid just means you can do what you want with your and in the quantities you want. Specifically, yes. You can do what you want with your money in the quantity you want. That's what liquidity is. And if there's not enough liquidity, that means if you want to sell $10 million of this all at once, there's not enough liquidity for a $10 million sale. But there's enough liquidity for a $5,000 sale, right? But it's not that liquid. You would crash it. All right, that's happy. All right, keep going. H-bar, Ajax, downside targets. H-bar. I do not know when I made my last H-bar video, but it is just crashing through these targets. Whew. It is going to go 95% down. That's why I have that box there. It looked like it wouldn't, right? That's why I kind of had this and this. 25% chance it only hits there. 60% chance it at least hits there, right? That's what this is from. Way months and months and months ago. But it is going to do the 95, just like everything else will besides Ethereum and Bitcoin. And maybe Cardano. Cardano might only go down 94. Yeah, so this is where it's going, exactly. Will it go straight there? Probably not, but it's going to hit it. And if you don't think so, you're going to be wrong. It's actually a better guess to say it'll go below here than it is to say it won't hit it, because it's obviously going to hit it. It's a question of, will it hold price? But yeah, it's gonna, 95 target. And, I've been, since, what was it? December of 2021, I've been saying, altcoins will all lose 95% of their value. On this one, though, when I was doing all that, I said, it might only go down 90. I said, maybe. So let's draw this one for good measure, right? Yeah, it's just gonna do what everything else does. And this could be one hell of a buy. But it's gonna give up in its entire bull run, just like almost everything else. And if it does that, if it gives up the whole bull run, here's the kicker though. knowing that only 15 to maybe 20% of all crypto next bull run, only 15 to 20% will even touch its previous all-time highs. Go past, but get to 15 to 20%. If it goes below here, it will have given up its whole bull run. So why would the next wave of retail? So, okay, think of it this way. How many people in crypto are left right now? Not a lot. How many people within that small group are about HBAR? Okay, some. But it's still a minority within a minority, right? In order for this to break all-time highs, you need the new wave of retail to know about this coin because YouTubers talk about it. Pretty much how crypto works, unfortunately, right now. Coin will not bump unless YouTubers talk about it, with very few exceptions. Large accounts. And those large accounts buy it before they talk about it, and they have limit sells for you to take. Like, they're selling it to you. Largely. Not all. I'm not claiming that up for everybody, but that is what is happening. So in that, with that all said, this will be required in order to get up here again. It has to get traction from the next wave of retail. Without it, the current group of people, as we just defined, that is not enough money to get it up there. So if the new wave of retail comes back, even though they're all clueless and noobs, right? But the YouTubers who will then convince the new wave of retail to buy it after a 2,000% move up, which is how it always works. Oh my God, it just almost makes me sick to my stomach. But why would YouTubers talk about it and lead the large accounts, their followers, to buy it if it gave up its whole bull run? It's going to be less likely to happen. So if it gets stuck under there, or even, it's going to hit it. But if it doesn't aggressively get out of there, which is possible, if it does not aggressively get out of here, which it could go a little lower, then aggressively come back up. But if it does not aggressively get back to this level right here, after hitting or dipping below here, it's not going to hit all-time high. Or, more safely said, that greatly reduces the chance of it ever hitting all-time highs again. And it greatly reduces the chances that this will be a strong candidate of the 15 to 20% of cryptos that will touch their previous all-time high. And this effect happens because the new of retail, they don't care about altcoins that they don't know about. They're, a 𝐃𝐢𝐬𝐜𝐿. Oh man, Birdnomics. It was new. Everybody wanted the new stuff. The same thing's gonna happen. So you can't go give up your whole bull run and be a strong candidate to attract the people who want the new, who are all distracted about the new stuff, like DeFi and oracles and Web3. None of that were words in 2017. None of it. Not one. Not a single one. It was all smart contracts, smart contracts, smart contracts. And there was only one big thing, smart contracts, Ethereum killer. At least this bull run, there were four flavors of the month. 4.5. Metaverse was like it was like the firecracker that just goes. It wasn't a real one. It was too late. Oracles, DeFi, Web3, NFTs. Those were the four catchphrases. So next bull run, those aren't going to be the catchphrases. Class 2021. Did you hear much about YouTubers talking about smart contracts and smart contracts? No, you didn't. So why are you going to hear about, Web3 and oracles and DeFi? You're not. You're not. And if you do, and price starts going up, guess what? That's a rally in a bear market that's not going to last. And it's going to crash down and maybe form a higher low on Bitcoin. And then the next time it all goes up, not going to hear it. That'll be the new stuff, right? What that has to do with HBAR, it's just that's the context around this and the importance of this in order for it to perform well next bull run. Just because something is a great project and it deserves to have the recognition, you know, or whatever, your chest pounding reasons. Without what I'm saying, you can chest pound all you want. It's not going to happen. New wave of retail needs to be led like sheep to buy this. That's it. All right. Ajax. And again, you know, if you don't like what I'm saying, I didn't like it either. I want everything to go up forever. But I'm not here to tell you what you want. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. I don't care what you want. Because sooner or later, you're going to want the truth. And if that doesn't describe you, you will be gone. You will not be in crypto. So that's why I'm okay with saying stuff that people don't like to hear. Being bearish before most other people. You know, like if you could take all crypto YouTubers and you create a box on when people flipped bearish, and up here are the people who flipped bearish too early and that were incorrect. Okay, they're just perma bears. And down here are the people who still like never stop saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, right? Those people are down here. So they're just plain wrong. Okay? But in all the content creators who were not plain wrong, they fall in the spectrum of you called the 69. So this, very few people are right here. This is before 69K top ever hit. You were saying, and there is one person out there who in October 2020, he was thinking 69 was the top. So I do know that one person did call that years before it happened. There is at least one person there. Hey, it's not me. And it was a fib. He just used the fib. I think it was a fib retracement specifically. Or a trend-based fib extension, I apologize. Trend-based. Well, it's not a fib retracement. It was a trend-based fib extension. Anyway, that's that person. Only one or two. Okay? Calling 69K top, like saying that's the top right as it happens. Okay, you're just under that. You're close to the top. Right? People who flipped bearish on November 9th or whatever, or the June or July dump, or maybe somewhere over here. Okay? Me and my channel, I was probably, I don't know, I was above halfway. I was probably somewhere here. Somewhere around here. Maybe this low. Okay, but that, even with that, I wasn't the first, but I was among the first to be bearish. Correctly. Before I knew I was correct. I didn't know if I was going to be correct. I just saw the crosses. Cross bad, cross bad. All right, so let's get on to this. So I don't care what you want. Because I didn't care then what people wanted. I was among the earlier people to perish. And it did not help. But I did it anyway. It did not help me. It did not help me. People did not want to listen. So the YouTube algo definitely punished me. And then rewarded me later. Because all the people who thought I was stupid realized, oh my god, he's the only person who was saying this. And then the YouTube algo was in my favor, but there were so few people coming back. But it is what it is. This might be too young. Nope, it's not too young. It's It's very predictable, actually. Well, not very predictable. It has a level of predictability. Okay, now these need to be equidistant. What's happening? So now I'm looking for is equidistance. I'm not looking for hitting tops and bottoms. I'll adjust this. Okay, now I'll look for it. Ooh, it slid. Trapped. Ooh, it's at a big juncture. Ooh. All right, that's how I would do this. You just need these lines right here. I don't even think you need Stokes or anything. So once it goes below here, it's going to create the it's going to confirm that this is now a downtrend, and it'll play these lines in the downtrend. That's it. Just like it played it in the uptrend, right? Go from one to the other. From one to another. Skips big ones, which means it could skip big ones down too. Watch out. It could really, really fly down. Is there a point of control? No, there isn't a point of control. Yeah, so watch out for that. It could be a really big spill down. On 1 hour or something. Right, so it's going to take out that low. Oh, this is really... Right there. I'm not for sure how it'll break down. It could spike up one more time. And with next month's backfill, it might even do this. Something like that. That could happen, because if Bitcoin backfills next month in January up to 17.2, like I'm thinking, it could break. Actually, let me measure that. Yeah, it might walk up this ladder. It actually has a good chance. And before that happens, like on good dip below, then snap back on it. So it's actually easier to short when that happens. When support is broken and then price goes back on top of it, the next time it falls off, it's way easier. So much easier. But I don't think you can short this. Yep, I think it has a good chance of hitting 2 pennies. Around February, which is what that is. It's a little young to, the probability of that happening is a lot less than my typical one. Because the price is so young. I have less to work at. Less to work off of. Probability. Somebody market bought a lot of tone after you mentioned it. Thank you for pointing that out. Oh wow, it's on Coinbase now. Well, holy shit. I didn't know. I might reaccumulate this. At one point, I had 1% of all tokens. Oh, no. No, I didn't. I had 0.5%. I accumulated this bitch heavily. And I only 8x'd. And then I sold and bought BEPRO. This isn't the whole price chart. Oh, yeah, because it's new to Coinbase. Yeah, this isn't even close to all of it. It's a KuCoin coin. That's still not all of price history. Dang. Oh, because they rebranded from TE Food to Tone. Yeah, no, this was a lot lower. Like this was I mean, I was buying it between 1 to 4 million market cap. And anytime it went above 4 million market cap, I stopped buying it. Came back below, I started picking. And I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I got up to about 32 million market cap, and I was selling about there. So I about 8x'd. Right at 8x'd. And that was early. Like that was November, December 2020. No. I apologize. No, it was February. February of 2021 when I sold this. Yeah. Creating a wick, only 2% of it's not bad for market buy. On low liquidity and bear market, it's not horrible. Like if you smack $500 on a market buy on something like this, it'll spike up 1%. So somebody might have thrown $500 to $1,000 at it. If that's what happened. Because really there aren't a ton of those wicks. Interesting. And you say it happened right after his breakdown earlier. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I recorded the BTC portion, so I'll upload it here in a little bit. MTV looking dead. Yeah, we'll look at MTV. So now all MTV people out there, do you realize why I kept saying no to your question? Did you rebuy it? Did you buy back in? Did you buy back in after I sold at 1.2 cents? No. The answer is no, and it remains no. I know. I sold it, right? I sold it just above that. Where? At an origin line. Ta-da! Was it the perfect one? Nope. Did it go higher? Sure. Did people think I was stupid over here? Yeah. But who's stupid now? Not me. I'm definitely not stupid. Or I am sometimes. I'm definitely stupid sometimes. Okay. But everybody is. That's what stupid is as stupid does means from Forrest Gump. It means the act of being stupid is not your IQ. Being stupid is not IQ. It's your actions. Smart people do stupid shit. So stupid is only as it does, not as it is born in IQ. What that means, I think. It's actually kind of a good phrase. Stupid is stupid. My mom always said stupid is stupid does. All right. That was the whole box of chocolates scene. I mean, it's actually holding up okay. It hit my 2022 target. Oh yeah, it still hit. It still hit this level in 2022, but it hit it later than what I thought. So the selling velocity is slowing down. No, it's not looking dead. This is normal for the first bear market for an altcoin. If it's its first bear market, it should be around 94 to 98% down right now. And that's where it is. No, this is normal. Doesn't look dead. Now, does it mean it probably won't meet all-time highs next year, and it's going to be one of the 85% of altcoins that do not hit its all-time high next bull run? Yeah, this is probably kind of locking it into place there. Does it mean it can't? No, absolutely not. It could outdo all-time highs and be one hell of a just ridiculously great buy. But I mean, if it gives up the whole bull run and more, why are people next? Why would the class of 2025? Why would those retail people get this? I don't understand why that would work. Yeah, your better bet is to wait for the new coins and see what the flavors of the month are and buy them and get them before YouTubers talk about them. Anticipate what is going to be talked about. You're going to be so much better off doing that than you are trying to plan out your bear market. Like, ooh, which are my coins? Those, all this. No, it's not valuable. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You're going to do better off chasing the flavors of the month anyway next year. Or next bull run. A. B, the SEC bringing the hammer down on all these damn securities, 2017 coins and afterward. That is at stake. So why would you not wait for the dust to settle before you start saying, ooh, I'm planning my altcoins? They're all securities. All of them that are not monetary coins. The founders kept tokens like in an IPO just like an ICO, or ICO just like an IPO, just like stocks. Or they keep most of them. Just like if you go public, you get more than half because you lose owner. Technically, you're not owner, right? You need half, technically. Or like Toyota owns 20% of Subaru. It's the largest stakeholder, but it's not technically the owner, right? Anyway, so that's empty, right? Yeah, you're wasting your time if you're trying to plan out what altcoins are. I think you're totally wasting your time. Unless you're planning monetary coins. And maybe so one thing going for Kadena, and isn't Cardano structured where it might not be hit with the SEC fine? I think even Cardano might be. I don't know though. I don't know, but things like Kadena have something going for it where, since it's proof of work, it could avoid, it could be one of those that rise out of the dust. And Solana's taken out, Algorand's taken out, Ethereum's pays their fine, and they come back from the ashes too, because it's not their first bear market, so they'll be able to weather it, but it'll still go down to like $400 if the SEC comes after them, and maybe lower, but maybe $450, and that would happen around June to August of 2020. But rising out of the ashes, I mean, things like Kadena or monetary coins, Bitcoin, Dash, Litecoin. Technically, Bitcoin Cash too is a monetary. Things that aren't a project. They are not a security because the founders didn't get the tokens. They had to mine it like everybody else, called a fair mine. No pre-mine. Get up. No pre-mine coins. It was a big deal. Bitcoin. No pre-mine. Even though I think Satoshi Nakamoto locked up 10%. So I think Bitcoin technically. But Monero had a fair start. Things like that, right? So that's a monetary coin. So unless you're playing monetary coins, you're like all the research you're doing in this bear market, you should be researching how to buy and sell. Even if you're not going to make money by doing that in a bear market, you're actually going to probably be, more spending your money to learn as if you're going to a driving range. It's costing you money. At a driving range, are you trying to hit a hole in one? Hell no, you're not. Are you trying to hit par? No. You're trying to just hit the ball. Practice hitting the club to the ball flat. Flat and square, go straight. That's all you're doing. That is going to be so much more valuable to you. Without the goal of trying to hit a home run, without the goal of trying to make money. I want to learn how to buy and sell. I want to train my emotional stimuli to view buying and selling as boring. I want to train myself to see it as boring. If that is your goal, and you spend your time doing that to learn without the intent of I'm getting rich in a bear market, I'm going to be a millionaire, right? doing this to learn like a driving range, that is, I would say 5 to 100 times more valuable bang for at each hour put to use, right? The value of that hour on average over, let's say 100 hours over 18 months, the average bang for your buck, what that does for you next bull run, right? When the ROI finally comes, and then you go to the golf course after practicing, right? For 18 months. The value of the average hour versus the average hour of research your coins, I think it's going to be 5 to 100 times more valuable. Seriously. I don't know. It's a wide range, but it's way more valuable because of all those reasons. Trying to scout out altcoins right now, I think it's a horrible idea unless it's a monetary coin. But even monetary coins, in the fire sale, when the SEC comes hammer down, it's all going to sell off. So it's not like some won't go down. They're all going to go down, even monetary coins. It's which ones come back. Where is the flight to safety, right? But probably what's going to happen is the play on monetary coins will probably be pretty good. If the SEC does hammer down, the flight to monetary coins will probably be a good play next time. And Dash will probably do pretty well, and Litecoin and Bitcoin. So Bitcoin would easily hit $250,000 next bull run if the SEC comes out this time during this bear market. Easily hit $250,000 because money goes. It won't, like, people won't be looking to buy Solana, like, it's security, right? But what's going to happen is the next wave of new coins, late 2024 and early 2025 coins, they will have learned their lesson, and you'll also see that I would say 30 to 50% of all new coins, they're the same people that got hit. They established their project as a security. And it's almost like a Chinese restaurant. Well, I shouldn't have chosen Chinese. In my town, for example, Chinese buffet has been hit with they got hit and closed down because of health, safety, whatever, right? Nothing particular to Chinese food or China. Just in my town, for example. It opened back up under a different name. Same owners. That's what's going to happen if the SEC comes in, right? But they're going to be new coins. And your Solana and your Algorand and all that shit, it's not going to be a new coin. It's going to be a new Chinese restaurant, a new name, maybe a new color, theme, same owners. Probably what's going to happen. What else do we got? Hey bro, love your content. Do you expect Bitcoin price to go down to 16.20 or 16.2? All right, then I'm gonna get off here. Nope, not yet. The answer is yes, but it'll be January 10th or later. It's going to test up first. Now, it could swipe down, but the first touch of 16.2, I think it would bounce. If it does it before January 4th, which is this line, labeled FOMC minutes, that's January 4th. So if it is before January 4th, it'll bounce. If it's after January 4th, then it'll just be, it'll go down to 16, yeah, it'll go lower than 16.2. It would at bare minimum test this wick here. It would actually hit 16, not 16.2. It would hit that minimum. So yeah, if it falls from 16.3, it won't stop at 16.2. But yeah, I think it'll happen January 10th or later. All right, everybody. Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 p.m. New York time, or 1800 hours New York time for Tuesday and Thursday. If you liked what you saw here today, make sure you hit thumbs up and leave a quick comment on the way out to help out the algo. And also, if you liked what you saw, there are links to what the community's like, visual instructions on how to join, a video for you down there, link to show you what the tiers of the YouTube tiers are all about, how they compare to the Discord community, and we'll see you next Tuesday, unless that falls on New Year's Day, or is it Tuesday, January 3rd, something like that. We'll see you on